before I was comfortable talking to people that, when I thought people were going to judge me about what I did or my problems, and I realized there are really great people in this community in Buffalo, throughout the world, that will listen to you. And for people who aren't dealing with depression, and people who aren't dealing with problems, you don't have to, like, if someone comes to you, you don't have to say anything. Just being there and listening will help out a lot. This one is more recent. This is kind of a positive upswing in my life, so not to be too sad. This is the vibrant palette of a 600-mile weekend. 81 south, en route to Great Bend, between the stale beers in his throat, with a voice like soil, nourishing thoughtfulness. Drying off in the sun while I trade smiles with strangers who share my name, celebrating life and storage, watching as two brothers paint the sky with their sins and savior. On the third we walked on swamps sinking. On the third we walked on swamps, sinking and soaking our feet through moss, making amends with our demons on the murky edge. I felt lost beneath you and your strawberry hair and porcelain skin, and for a moment we were holding. Thank you. Sorry about that. There was a spelling error in that, and as I was reading it, I noticed it, and so sorry. Okay, this is called Pale Blue. So this is about someone who recently came back into my life. As I'm a more positive person now, as I've been able to deal with problems and deal with people, and really seeing them grow and seeing myself grow. So this is called Pale Blue. Coming of age in the backseat of your car, tucked in the corner of your studio apartment, the back room of your mother's home. I've often found you more times than I can hold in my clenched fist, trapped in a 3 a.m. text from you, watching these minutes grow to force. You don't cry the way you used to, but you smell the same, and your hair still makes a home in my beard and pillow and shower. Shackled by the uncertainty of your intentions, I love you so much that it breaks my heart. Soft hands that tear the words out of my throat, blue eyes filling my lungs with salt water and seaweed. You kept me braided between your legs and arms, rescued from the rubble of my broken life, breathing life through my nose and mouth. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, this is an interesting time in my life. My cousin Mario died suddenly in his sleep at his girlfriend's house. He was married, so it was like a really weird thing. And this is a poem about the funeral, and just kind of the awkwardness that comes with death and the comfort you find in family. Tonight I smoked myself back to the first day of February and your dead man's float. At your funeral, Grandma wept the whiskey from her blood, hoping that sober would be less sobering than this. The family jokes that today I wasn't the lightest of kin. Your skin was washed mahogany. 33 looked awful on you. Pastor shouted gospel above the bellowing cries of men too hardened to be this weak. I sat between your brother, searching for an excuse to see myself out, uncomfortable in a sorrow that felt unfortunately common. I tried my hardest to cry for your mother and your wife and your children and for you. They call it a homecoming, ironic for a man who died in his family home with another woman. He used to say, black folks sad is a lot like a party. And so they went on crying and dancing and singing down the aisles of this old church. And so I went on dancing and singing to a God I didn't know, begging that this procession wasn't in vain. After your funeral, we smoked weed in Sherman's car in the church parking lot, the way you used to when you skipped the sermons or when you were too hungover to face your demons. I sat in the back seat between your brothers, crying for you, for your mother and your wife and your children, and your pain. It flowed through me, and your lies, they flowed through me, and your human became my human. Thank you. I'm just like pulling random things out, so we'll see how this one goes. I don't really know where this one came from, to be honest, so it might seem uninspired and awful, and I apologize about that. But I kind of liked it. This is called the solace of hate. Quietly, somewhere between fleece sheets and hearts smoldering on a mattress, doubt made a home, evicting carelessness and peace of mind, voices and bodies trembling with uncertainty. Gunshots rang out around the corner from home that night. Your legs froze still like pine trees. Heavy breaths weigh us down. Touching thoughts of finite things and the fire that sentiment brings, I planted you beneath cracked paint. On these dust-covered sills, a honey-tongued farewell sent along with the unseizable calm January air. Thank you. Yeah, that was not great. As I was reading, I was not thinking. I don't know. You can just tell me when to stop, I guess. I have no sense of time. This is recent. This is kind of reflecting back on when things were a little bit harder for me and kind of writing from that standpoint, but now, I guess, and still writing to those things that, because it never really goes away, it's just learning how to cope with it and finding people that will help you cope with it and finding things that will help you cope with it. So this is living behind the two-way mirror. I am sulfur and stone. I am the still pond and the leeches sucking at your blood. I am the loose change that you refuse to give each panhandler you pass. I am your faith lost at 3 a.m. and your Sunday morning resurrection. Blistering visions of a past life, haunted by the former self you never knew. Soft eyes and rough skin, lying motionless on a bed you made when you were far too young to know right from wrong. Kissing darkness with your mouth open, hoping to swallow some truth. 25 years tastes a lot like a death sentence. Thank you. I would like 2 more, and then I'll leave you all alone. Okay. This is a poem about some old friends I had who were a little bit destructive and fed into my destructive lifestyle, and kind of where we are now. We'll kind of get the gist of it. Again, this doesn't have a title. Spending the night alone with his demons in Puerto Rico or Colombia or some luxury high-rise, laughing between drags of a cigarette, reciting poetry and scandal as he tattoos hate across his knuckles. The bomb formed with truths he'll never speak for a freedom he desperately clings to. He called you again, drunk and ravenous, hungry for your blood and skin. Unlike the words preached, he is filled with poison and angst. Call it love, call him a lush, he'll leave himself inside of you, hoping for change. Go on speaking into the faces and telephones and toilet seats, painting regret and truth shrouded to your heart. It will follow you until the day you die, and then the only man who loved you will be underground. Thank you. I don't know. I'll sing Freebird now. No, I'm kidding. So everyone does it. I really liked this one at some point. This was about just empty relationships that you kind of form sometimes when you, again, are dealing with things. Not that that's an excuse to form empty relationships, and there's no excuse to do that, or to kind of have people be your muse or to shell off your sorrows on them, but sometimes it happens even if you have the best intentions. So this is called To the Cellist, the Painter, and the One Finding Her Place. I grew up inside of a series of daydreams strung together by the stinging reality of finite endings. Told that all things move for a purpose and that every word must be spoken for a reason. I remained tight-lipped for too many winters. I have learned to never question the way a tree grows skyward or how much poetry exists in you. I sonnet for every time you cried to me. Every time you raised your voice, I felt the rhythm in my shuddering bones. One can only stay content in misery for so many seasons. Unending silence is so cold in January. There was never much doubt about what pushed you away, only what kept you here for so long. Thank you.
going to say a couple things, and then we're going to have our last act, and then that's going to be it. This is a little bit impromptu. We weren't planning for this last one, but I'm so excited that somebody came and was inspired to play. Tony and Drew, let's just give everybody that's played around. Tony and Drew. Thank you, guys. Nick, give him a hand. Not here, but give him a hand. Not present. Sandra, give her a hand. Also, gone.
She's still outside.
In the back?
No, she's on the sidewalk talking to her friends.
Okay, still on the property. Give Kelsey a hand for her art. Absolutely incredible. Check her out on social networking. What's your tag on? I'm blowing it right now. What's the? Okay. Just look at her art and be amazed. Give a hand to Tom. Absolutely incredible. Thanks, Tom. Alexis, Celine, and Rihanna came up here, played a couple covers. Give them a hand. Sorry. I hate when people. I don't know why I'm doing all these hands. Sorry. So, and of course, Jordan. I don't even. That's it. I don't even have any words. When you were up here, I felt like a moment in time that was frozen, and I'm not just saying this. I really felt it. I felt why this was happening. You know, this is what it's all about. It's about expression. It's about overcoming these barriers and feeling comfortable enough to share them in an open venue, or just being able to talk about it, even with one person, even with ourselves sometimes. You know, writing. You know, when I was lost, two things saved me when I was 16, 17 years old, going through a number of different things. It was writing and music. Ultimately, those are the two things that helped me in this journey of self-discovery. And I think that this idea has been on my mind forever, and the construct of the societal norm didn't really allow me to do it. I was, in my mind, I thought, oh, I got to go to school, I got to do these predetermined, pre-planned things. So having this opportunity is a dream of mine. Having the people sitting down and just being here without you guys, this wouldn't even be happening. So I mean, that's the reality. I just hope that this can be a vessel for people to share their story and just embrace who they are as a human being and as a person. So thank you so much for coming out. We're going to be back here again on September 29th. If you know anybody who plays music, who just wants to get up here and talk about life, you know, struggles, or if they've overcome them, just get them in touch with us, and we'll do our best to set something up to where they can express themselves. So thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. And then, you guys want to come on up? Thank you. This is great. Thank you.